Hi guys, this is Esther Tilley with Silly Tilly Face Painting, and today I wanted to talk to you about what you actually need to be a face painter. I tend to classify people in three different ways. You have your casual beginner, you have a serious beginner, and you have a serious beginner with capital up front. We'll talk about the casual beginner first. So a casual beginner is someone who basically wants a quick kit to be able to put some paint on a kid's face. You're not interested in becoming a serious professional face painter. You just want something fast that you can do. There are several different kits you can find all over the internet, and the first one I recommend is called the Snazaroo Face Paint Ultimate Party Pack. It essentially has your basic Roy G. Biv, rainbow colors plus like pink, and it also has glitter gels, it has brushes, and it has sponges, and basic step-by-step help for any designs you might want to put on your kit. So it's water-based, it washes off with soap and water. You want to make sure that any kit that you get is FDA compliant, non-toxic of course. Just pick up something like that. You want your basic colors, you want a black and a white, you want a brush, a sponge helps you cover large areas at once. So the other two classifications I like to give are the serious beginner and then the serious beginner with capital. Basically someone who is willing to spend a lot of money on bigger cakes, the full shebang, separate glitters, stencils, every different type of brush, lots of different split cakes and one strokes, etc. For most of us starting out, we may not want to do that, so I have a selection of options for you. You usually buy solid colors like this in a cake. A split cake is something like this. This means there's lots of different colors in one cake. This makes it a lot faster to apply different colors to the face, and it's really, really fun. If you don't have a lot of capital up front, I highly recommend you buy a palette like this. You can find lots of different types of palettes out there. I personally got a Paradise palette. I got their basic colors, and then because I really wanted them, I also got a set of their pastel colors, which included different types of pink. There were different types of brown. It was really easy to start off with. As far as black and white goes, if you buy a palette that doesn't have black and white in it, or if you find you're running low, I highly recommend, and this is just because of my experience and where I'm from, I live in the United States, I highly recommend a wolf cake for black and for white. Their white is really, really vibrant. And so I like that when I'm putting white details on a face. They're really, really bright. So I highly recommend wolf for black and for white. You're also going to need your brushes. So what do you need for brushes? Well, first of all, you're going to need detail brushes. Detail brushes let you do the fine details. Now, these ones are called round brushes. It means they basically come to a point at the end, but they're very gently curved, so that allows you to also do like little dots when you're doing it on faces. Now, I like the number 3. I like a number 3 brush. Those are the sizes. 1 is really, really small. 6 is pretty big. 10 is pretty big round brush. That's for doing really large things on the face. I get 2. You want one for black and one for white. If you can't afford that, just get 1, but you're going to spend a lot of time rinsing your brush out between colors because it really sucks going from black to white. So I have 2, and I use them only for black and for white. If you're going to be doing anything large or with split cakes and stuff, I highly recommend getting a 1-inch flat brush. The edge is flat, it's very thin on one side, very wide on the next side, which is kind of cool because if you pick up one color, you can do a thin design and you can also cover a large portion of the face with this. There are 2 types of face painting in methods. One of them is just your basic regular method where you have your different colors like this, you use a sponge or a brush, you put on the face. Now, one stroke is a type of method where you use cakes, one stroke cakes, or sometimes you have mini one stroke cakes, and those ones are really small. They're about like 1.5 by 1 inches. And you use a big brush like this, and you use it on the one stroke cake, and it allows you to do really fast, oh, don't do that. Go like that, sorry. It allows you to do really fast, beautiful designs on the face, again, really quickly. That is a method that some people just do completely. They have a bunch of different one strokes like this in their palette and in their kit, and they can just pump out all kinds of designs with this. It's really nice. It's really fast. I do a little bit of both. So I have separate colors and I have 1-stroke cakes. This 1-inch brush is great for 1-strokes. Usually you want it to be a short one. I don't recommend getting craft store brushes. I've spent personally a lot of money on craft store brushes and I've wasted a lot of money because their bristles are too long or not stiff enough, and to me it's just worth it to get professional face painting supplies from a face painting shop. I have several different shops I can recommend and I'll put them below in the links. Okay, so you have your detail brushes, you have a flat brush. Sometimes if you want to, I recommend getting a short angled 3/4 brush. So it's flat, but it's at an angle. It helps with certain strokes. I'll mention it in later videos, but it really helps with that, especially if you're using 1-stroke cakes. You're also gonna want sponges. Now, I personally recommend black sponges. I have these kinds and they stain, so they look like this after a while and it's really annoying. So I recommend you get black ones, but I have these, so I'm going to use these for now. A customer might see it and be like, whoa, she doesn't clean her stuff, and you're like, yes I do, I promise. You can always cut them to size. As you noticed, I've rounded the edges, lots of video tutorials on that on the web. But these brushes allow you to pick up a bunch of different colors all at one time and then put them on the face however you want. The nice thing about sponges is that after you've gotten the paints that you want, you can actually compress it if the kid's face is too big or too small for what you're trying to do. Anyway, and if they're round like this, you can cut them in half and use them. You can use the flat side, you know, or you can use the rounded side. You can load up more than one color as you go. So sponges are really awesome for covering well and covering a large amount all at once. The last thing I would recommend is getting glitter. Now, if you have the capital up front, you can buy all different colors of glitter. You can buy chunky glitter, you can buy fine glitter. But if you're just looking for a basic glitter to put on faces while you're painting and you want it to be quick, I recommend an iridescent glitter. This is the Mama Clown glitter. It's really popular and famous, and I do love it as well. I use it on my faces that I do. I also bought this special bottle. This is not the bottle it came in. This is a special pump bottle. It locks so it won't pump accidentally in my kit if I'm traveling or whatever. And it also prevents me from having to like turn it sideways or upside down in order to pump the bottle. I like this because it goes like that and it just squirts out a nice little puff of glitter. Get off. And it's just the right amount of glitter that I need. So this is the Mama Clown glitter. So just to go over everything one last time, if you don't have the money to spend on separate large cakes, I highly recommend you get a palette of colors like this with your basic Roy G. Biv colors. Get a black, get a white, get at least one split cake. Makes it a lot easier. It's really fun to do. As far as brushes go, get 2 number 3 rounds, get a 1-inch or a 3/4 inch flat brush, and then get one sponge. You can cut them in half. I recommend black because this color will stain. You don't want it to be super high density because it just doesn't really work with the paint as well, in my opinion. I don't like makeup sponges. I want face painting sponges or sponges like this. And then I recommend the Mama Clown glitter. Obviously, if you're going to be anywhere, you're going to want a mirror so the kids can see their faces. You're going to want something, some sort of kit to put everything into when you have it conglomerated. Some people like to use a little water bottle to squirt water onto their paints. There are pros and cons to that. Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't. And oh, I'm so sorry. If you're wanting to really try out 1-stroke painting, I recommend you get a sample little not arty cake, mini 1-stroke cake like these. They're very small, but they let you try out a bunch of different colors. And then as you see what you use up, you can buy longer cakes like this to use. So anyway, yeah, that's what I recommend. Hope that was helpful.